Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unscheduled Live. This was the one that I was supposed to do last week that we're going to be doing once a month up until the challenge. So I thought I'd catch up with it now that I'm not keeling over, coughing me guts up as much. Nice to see some of you in here. Don't expect loads in like a fireside. It's not scheduled, but it is what it is. Suburban Preppers was first in just to say he's waiting for the Newcastle game to finish, but there's no point watching that. They're rubbish. Evil Girl says, are you guys going to behave? There's just me. So there's no chance of Brian messing this one up. I'm sure he'll find a way, but Country Crafts in the house. Miss Worms here, of course, keeping us all in check as always. Polonium in the house as well. Zebra Prep's there. Nice to see you, Zebra Prep. Yeah, so look at the screen. This is what it's all about. It's about the charity cycle that I'm doing for Help for Heroes. It's going to be a bit like a comic relief. So every so often I'm going to show you a little video of why we're doing this. So just be ready. Hanky's at the ready for that one. Got a few questions in. I put out a little note to ask if anyone had questions about it, just so we had some content. So we will go through some of them first. And if you've got any questions, please whack them in the chat, put them in capsules that I don't miss them. That'd be great. Debbie Smith, a new member. Awesome. Don't forget as well, 99p to join the channel now. Absolute bargain. How can you resist? How can you resist indeed? So let's pull up the first questions here that were on the YouTube post initially, and we'll go through them. Anthony Scott Duncan, who's one of our members, asks, what are you doing for water and how much will you carry? Well, I have got a Camelback strap backpack with a 2-litre reservoir in. As well as that, I've got a bottle that goes onto the bike, which takes 750 ml. So 2.7 litres basically of water in between stops. Now I'm stopping at campsites, actual campsites rather than wild camping. So I'll be refilling there. However, because this is a bug out challenge as well, I will be taking along the correct stuff for water filtering and stuff like that, and looking for water sources along the way. And I'll film a bit of footage if I do that and have to filter some. So yeah, I'll have all the stuff to get water if I need to, but ideally 2.7 litres is going to be more than enough to get me between stops. Just having a look in the chat. You're all just saying hello to each other. That's fine. Hi, Tellerboy. Welcome. This is one you've got in at the start. Excellent. Excellent. So the whole charity thing is for Help for Heroes. As I've mentioned, it's a great cause. And it says that I'm doing 232 miles above me there. But it's actually 240 odd now because of the campsites has been put in, but I can go through the route map shortly. But let's have a quick look why it'd be great if you could donate anything. Even £1 helps towards the charity. All the links are in the description. Let's have a quick look at this one. Help for Heroes, absolute amazing charity. They focus a lot on mental health as well and the recovery and people dealing with PTSD. So absolutely invaluable. If you've ever known or seen anyone suffering through that, you'll know. Another question on the YouTube thing was Selenio, I think it is. And they said, are your chargers charged? Yes, they are charged. This will not happen again. Lee Profits on there, and he asked, what's the weight of the trailer loaded up, and have you actually tried towing it yet? Good question. No is the answer. I've not towed it yet. So my training plan is basically through March I am just cycling with possibly a backpack for food and obviously my water and the bike loaded without the trailer. And the goal is by the end of March to be able to do 50 miles comfortably enough and not be completely keeling over at the end of it. Come April, we will start the trailer runs and build that up in the same way that we've done the normal cycling. So by the end of April, the plan is to be able to cycle comfortably 50 miles with the trailer. I say comfortably, as comfortable as you can be. And after that, it's just going to be endurance training on hills and stuff like that all the way up until the challenge. So I've not tried the trailer yet, but it's all set up. The weight of it, with everything in, I plan to keep it below 35 pounds. If you think of like a Bergen, a bug out bag. So that similar sort of weight. The tent that I'd got is too big to go in it or strap on it without being an absolute hindrance. So I need to go back to the drawing board with the tent. So that's another thing to consider, but that's the weight goal for the trailer anyway. Miss Worms posting the Just Giving link there, and we will check on it. Actually, I'll put the banner up now. Today alone, we've had £26 in donations. So let's see if we can get that number up in the next hour. That would be absolutely awesome. I don't come on here ever begging you for money for myself. Only ever when it's these charity events, only for a good cause. We raised nearly over £2,000 for British Heart Foundation last year, and I want to try and smash that this year as well. Brian's posting in Discord. That's shocking. What's he in Discord not on this for? I'm just looking through the comments so I don't miss anything on the way. Mark Adventure says, good luck. The Watchman's in the house, giving us a wave there. Sab's Workshop's in the house. If you don't know Sab, go and check out his channel as well. Has some really cool lives on there and some good guests as well. So that's worth checking out. Have you thought about panniers instead of backpack? Well, see, this is the thing. The trailer is going to take everything. So the bike trailer is going to be pretty much all of it. The only thing I've got backpack-wise, I've got a backpack while I'm doing these runs without the trailer, but I've got the Camelback one, and that's purely for the water bladder. That's the only backpack I'm going to have on me. Nothing else is going to be on the bike. Nothing's going to be strapped to the handlebars or anything like that. It's all going to be on the trailer. So that's the idea. Hopefully, that's going to help. And worst case scenario, really steep hills, I can get off and walk, and I know I can push that weight along as well. Thank you, Matthew. There's Sab's channel. There you go. Make sure you go and check that out. Give him a subscribe. Check out his content. That'd be awesome. Right. This is what I'm doing. There you go. Let's have a look at the route, and people can have a look. If I'm going to pass by you, you can come out and, I don't know, I was going to say cheer me on, but probably throw things at me. Here is the route. Let's have a look at this. Bang. There we go. It works. So starting off in Lancashire, I moved the dots away from where I actually live. So no point trying to track me there. But it's the same distance. And along the way, we have 4 stops that are booked camping sites. So there's jaunts in between each one. If I don't make it all the way to one, it's going to be wild camping. And the last section is quite a hefty one that I might have to wing it and find somewhere on the way. I've not given myself fixed days like 3 or 4. I've got literally 6 whole days. Should be able to do it in less. But yeah. Oh, look at that. Kelly's Eye, great cause, £20 super chat there, superb. Everything you put through the super chat as well, guys, goes after YouTube takes its cut during these streams, goes to the charity. Thank you very much for that, Kelly. I really appreciate it. So we start here, and the first run is 50 miles to the first campsite. Now, might not seem like much, but if you look down here on the left, that's the elevation. This 50 miles, this first 50 miles has 2 of the steepest inclines in the whole thing, reaching 7,913 foot. So that's 2 of the steepest inclines that just go over here. And I know these hills. I've done them before on foot, and it's no mean feat. So that's the first bit. That's going to be quite difficult. The second bit looks a lot longer, which is all the way up to here, but it is actually only 50 miles still because it's a much straighter road. There's steady inclines here, little hill inclines, but there's a lot of downhill here. So I expect it to be an easier run than the first day. That'll be the second day, stopping at this campsite. Third day, we're literally crossing the border. This is the shortest day when it comes to distance. So we are doing, what's that? It's about 40 miles, that one. And that's the shortest day distance-wise. Stopping at Kirklock campsite there, right near Dumfries. The next day, we carry on up. Oh, and I've just totally killed that. Can I undo what I just did? What have I done? Oh, no. Oh, there we go. That's back. It's back. We're okay. So the next campsite, which has disappeared off there now, is around here. Just over from Lanark. There's a small, there you go. It's come back on there. It's a farm campsite just here. I'd stop. There we go. And that will be, again, what was the mileage on that one? That's another 45, nearly 50 miles there. And then the last run is probably the biggest run altogether. We're at 187 miles there, and we've got to get to 242. So it's nearly 60 miles on the last day. So that's why it might break up. But that's the whole route there. Pan out, show you. That's what we're doing. It's via National Cycle Route 68. It goes on to National Cycle Route of 7 as well. It touches that. But a lot of this up here is just A roads, basically. There you go. Let's have a look at the comments. Great cause. Yes, it is. Thank you, Talboy. Appreciate that. Forget it. Give it to Mike. Cheers. Appreciate that, Kelly's Eye. Cool. So that was the route. And so far, let's just refresh it. Oh, Paul C's put another donation into the Just Giving page. So far on Just Giving, £446 we've raised so far directly for Help for Heroes. That's not including the PayPal donations, and that's not including anything through Super Chat. Don't forget, we add anything during this stream to that. And in the last month, everything that the channel makes will go to the charity. That's a given. Literally everything in that last month will go into the charity to try and tip us over that £2,000 target. So thank you very much, Paul, for that donation. Let's update our banner, because that's another 30. 6. That's £56 raised so far today. I'll get a notification on my phone if there's a PayPal one. So if I do miss any, I do apologize. Don't forget, get your questions in capitals if you've got any. I've got a few more questions listed to go through, so don't worry. Which I will find now. So many screens open. It's unreal. Also, on that last month, not just the channel revenue here, everything we make through the shop for the t-shirts and the hoodies, all the profit from that will also go to help the heroes on that last month. Tony Tawaki, who is on our Discord group, said, how many letdowns punchers are you prepared, apart from Brian Hawkins and Miss Worm? Do you have enough repair kits? They are not letdowns. I resent you saying that. That's terrible. But I do have a big repair kit. And somebody did advise on YouTube about the green stuff, the snot stuff that goes in your tire as well. Now, I've been told to use that and not to use that off different people. So I really don't know what to do with that, whether to use that gunk stuff inside your tire. Some people say it's great. Some people say don't do it. It's a waste. So I'm still on the fence with that one. Kelly's Eye says, how many miles per gallon of beer do you get? Not many if I'm on the ale, I'm afraid. I don't think I'll be having a drink on the route. Are you pulling the trailer? If not, why not? And if so, how heavy? Kelly's Eye also asked. I did explain this month it's getting the cycle distance. Next month we'll put the trailer on, etc. So I've already covered that. Yeah, and we'll see how much of a difference it makes. Once I'm comfortable doing that distance, throwing the trailer on, doing the same distance, we'll see if I can make it. That'll be interesting. Miss Worm, what's the thing you're looking forward to the least? My own mind. This might sound weird to people, I know, but when I did my hike, you get a lot of time to be with just your thoughts, which I don't mind sometimes, but over a long distance, over a long time, yeah, it's definitely, it's an experience, which can be good, can be bad in some ways, but can also be good. But I don't look forward to the solitude of it. I'm a people person, so yeah, I kind of like people there with me. It'd be nice to do it with others. But yeah, thank you for that one. And she also said, if you could have a celebrity companion, who would you take and why? I mean, there's loads of people I'd love to take for the company, but probably Chris Froome because he could do most of the pedaling. He won the Tour de France multiple times. So yeah, it'd be that one. I'd say Lance Armstrong. People might know him better, but we all know how that ended up. There you go. And another one from Miss Worm. Will you be meeting up with Brian when you get to Glasgow? I'm sure he'll be there to throw something at me as I cycle past. Thank you for that, Suburban Preppers. Really appreciate that. Just giving, but not sure if I ticked the box to let you know. You did. Zebra Prep, £20 on Just Giving. Thank you very much. Really appreciated. Good luck on the journey. Thank you for your supporting such an amazing cause. It is an amazing cause. But thank you. That's really, really appreciated. Let's update that. 76. That's awesome. If you're not a fan of Just Giving, then you can use PayPal. You can use the Super Chats. If you do use Just Giving, don't forget there's a gift aid box. If you tick that, then the government give us a little bit as well. But if you're not a fan of the government, I dread to think preppers that weren't fans of the government, though, then you can use PayPal. You can use the Super Chats. There's all sorts of ways you can help out and donate. So appreciate that. Exactly. And you can help out just by being here. The adverts are turned on. I'm not sure if they'll stay on because of the videos I'm playing through this, if there's copyright strikes, but hopefully they will. And YouTube has got control when they play. So I'm not clicking the button to play the adverts. It just might happen during, but the ad revenue from this goes into it as well. Don't forget to hit that like button. It does really help. If you want to ask any other questions, prepper questions, it doesn't have to be on the back cycle. Feel free to do so. But Brian's turned up finally, 21 minutes later, doing his own thing. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. But let's remind ourselves why we do this.
When a person signs to join the armed forces, they're making a pledge to put their very life on the line. It's a life that's full to the brim with adventure, teamwork, and above all, purpose. But even the best military training cannot prepare all these servicemen and women for civil life. Help for Heroes is here for wounds both visible and hidden, providing recovery and support for veterans and their families, driven by the belief that all those who put their lives on the line for us deserve a second chance at life. After all, we're talking about people more skilled than most, more drilled than most, with more pride than most. It's time to unleash the full force of these expert minds and courageous hearts to create a force for good. Our most disciplined, determined, and best are ready. Help them help Britain. Be part of the force for good.
There you go. It's an awesome cause, Help for Heroes. But, it's one of those things. We should be looking after our veterans anyway. We shouldn't need charities like this, but, thank God they exist. Brian, Scottish Prepper, £10 in the pot for Help for Heroes. Thank you very much, Brian. Really do appreciate that one. Let's update our little ticker. But what a day. That's an excellent day. Success. I can go home. I can go back to sleep now. Home. I'm already home. I was wondering why that ad came on 5 minutes ago. I thought I pushed a button. No, through the fireside, I turned them off because I hate them as well. But the fact that this is all going to a good cause, I didn't think some of you would mind the adverts playing every so often. I do apologize if they get annoying. I won't do it in the next one if it's bad. Cool. Questions. Get back to them. Where are they at? It's hard to control everything without, being able to pass off to Dave and Brian to carry on the conversation while I look what I'm clicking. Kelly's Eye asked, are you allowed electric assist? Or would you consider an e-bike? Part of me probably is going to wish I had an e-bike, but I thought that was cheating. My scenario for this is bug out. My scenario for this is EMP. I don't think I'd have my electric bike in a Faraday cage. So realistically, it's going to be pedal power the whole way. So based on the scenario and based on the fact I want to do everything I can to help this charity physically and mentally, no, I won't be using an electric assist. And how many planned stops, he also asked. So there's, where's the map gone now? I forget after 2 minutes. So there's 4 stops in between that are planned. If there's any unplanned stops, we deal with it when it comes. I've got more than 5 days allowed for this. I've got a 2-day overage, so I can go longer if I want to. If on the second stop I think I need longer to rest, then I might have to. Either way, as long as it gets done within that week, then that's what matters. But 4 planned stops, and I've got a personal target of only using them and getting through it. And, who knows? Depending on how fit we get before the start of it, is maybe I could power through and do less stops. We shall see. So... Monkey Wrench in the house from over the pond. Thank you for being here, Kelly. Here's my 2 cents on the subject, and it's more than 2 cents. It's $5 donation. Thank you. I don't know how I add that to the banner without fudging it. Let's just say £4 for the sake of arguments, and we'll make it a nice round number. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Monkey Wrench. Monkey Wrench also got a great YouTube channel. It's not all prepping, it's some prepping. It's American based, but he's a absolute whiz with like fixing lawnmowers and all sorts of stuff like that. So if that's the kind of thing that interests you, go and check out Monkey Wrench's channel as well. When I said at the start, we will hopefully stay monetized because Brian can't ruin it. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian. Don't stiff YouTubers on their commission. We need our 0.0006 of a penny per view. There you go. Exactly. Exactly, Ms. Worm. Question: will you be powered by carbs or keto? I don't know yet, Paul. I honestly don't know yet. I've been on and off with the keto over the last month. I've done it for a week and then I've had a day off. Then I've done it for a week. I'm almost carb cycling instead. Yeah, there won't be. There's no definitive answer until I get closer to the time. I'll get back to you on that one, Paul. Question from Kelly's eye. Backup. People, or my dad's bigger than your dad, or are we talking about a backup cycle? I don't have any backup. So honestly, if something goes drastically wrong that I can't fix at the side of the road, or I can't get to a shop as close as possible and get it fixed, then I will continue on foot with the trailer. I'll pull it and I will continue on foot. It'll be a very, very cool runnings kind of vibe coming into the finish line. But yeah, the only backup is I will finish on foot, unless I get some sort of major injury or somebody takes me out with a car on one of the air roads. Then, you know, the backup will be having to do it again in a few months' time when I recover. So let's not go there. Hopefully it won't happen. I'll be very illuminated and I won't be cycling at night anyway. Do we need to watch the full ad for you to get the revenue? I just had 2 back-to-back and didn't want to skip just in case. I have no idea. Leanne, just skip them. Don't worry about it. Hopefully not. It's pence. I'll turn them off for the next one. Don't worry about it. Just skip them. I would skip them. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, there's 2 PayPal donations there. Thank you very much, Barry and Robert. That's totaling another 60 to add to the tally today. That's absolutely amazing, guys. Seriously. That's well beyond what I expected today. Blown me away already. That's awesome. I didn't even click it, go back up. £150 today now. £150 just today gone towards this charity. That's awesome. Will you try not to lacerate yourself this time? No promises, no promises. I'm still doing all my own food and cooking and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll have plenty of first aid with me, Miss Worm. That's all I can promise you. And it's good practice, right? If I do. I'm not even reading your comments, Brian. You're shocking. Yeah, shocking. Is there anyone on here that can assist en route if Mike needs help? I mean, I've put the feelers out there. Anybody wants a visit on that route? Let's refresh ourselves with the route. If you live anywhere, if you live anywhere here along this route, obviously not in the first mile or two, because that's just a waste of everyone's time if I break down in the first mile. But if you live anywhere on this route, going past T-Bay, Shap, Penrith, Carlisle, Dumfries, Moffat, this is over by Lanark, all the way up on the outskirts of Glasgow. Hopefully the bike doesn't get stolen here. No offense, Brian. Round Kilsyth, and then up through Denny into Bannockburn and Stirling, finishing in Stirling. So if you live anywhere on that route, if you want to send me a message and meet up with me at some point, either near one of the stops, we could share a cup of tea on the evening, or just possibly be an assistance if something explodes or breaks. Let me know. I'd love to be as many people involved as possible. Would be great. Shocking. Have you shaved your legs in case of road rash? No, I haven't. There's no other words. I'm not going to either. I'm not going to wax or shave or anything like that. I have anti-chafing stuff. I have Vaseline, and I have plasters if I need to. So that'll be as much as I do for that. It's nice to see that account still exists after the other day. Kilsyth, that's 1.5 miles from me. Well, Brian, you need to get to the side of the road with one of those like cups of water, like Tour de France, and I'll grab it on the way past. No, depending on times and stuff, I'll stop and visit anyone along the way. It'll be great. This whole expedition is bug out as well, so it's great to know people who's part of the network or part of the prepping scene in the UK that are on that route, because if I do bug out that way, you never know. I might be knocking on your door trying to trade you some silver for a couple of Frey Bentos pies. What dates am I doing it? Did I put the dates on anywhere on here? No, I didn't. It's the last week of May. Yes, the last week of May. So I'll be setting off on the 26th of May. I might be at the Bushcraft show literally the weekend before, potentially speaking, and I'm waiting to hear back from that. But I'll be setting off on the Monday. And yeah, I've got till the 1st, but I aim to be there by the Friday and hopefully have a weekend to chill up in Stirling. What if waxing was towards the charity? Get Brian too as well. Oh. No. Do you not think I'm doing enough for charity? You guys get yourselves waxed. Give us a shout, Mike, if you need picking up, if your bike ends up on bricks when you get to Scotland. Yeah, well, I'll let you know, I'm sure. The plan is to record the whole way. I've got 2 4K action cams. I've got another camera mounted to the front of the bike, which is just a straight front, like tunnel vision camera sort of thing. And of course, I'll have my phone and stuff. The footage will be edited afterwards, of course, for the whole journey. But I will be doing shorts throughout. So I'll be keeping people updated on the shorts on the channel with what's going on, like I did with the hike. So keep you guys in the loop the whole way. Like an evolved monkey chicken. It hurt like F. Okay, right. On that note, £150 so far. I will check the numbers again in a second. Let's have another look at the reasons we're doing this.
You found peace? That's a good question.
This is the Veterans' War. Too many are left to fight for the support they need, but it's our fight too. Help for Heroes stands with veterans and their families every day, providing life-changing mental, physical and financial support that rebuilds lives. Help veterans find the peace they deserve.
There you go. And anything you can do for Help Heroes in general, not just doing sponsoring for me, then it all helps the cause. It's all superb. So thank you for everyone that's taking part in everything to do with this. I have no idea what's going on in the chat. Amphia, really, really good, relevant question, which I've asked myself. I used to cycle a lot, commuting. When I worked in Manchester, lived in Bolton, used to cycle a lot then. Quite a distance, and that was a road cycle, and that was quite a hard seat. The first few weeks, like up to 4 or 5 weeks, it was an absolute killer. So one of the subscribers sent me a saddle, which is much softer. It's not as soft as like I'd like it. You know, I'd like a Barker Lounger on there if I could get it, but it's a lot more comfortable. And I do believe just over time, with the amount of training I'm going to be doing all the way running up towards the end of May, hopefully I'll be conditioned a bit better. I've seen some shorts that I wanted. I did originally have them on my cycle wish list, but I've scrapped the cycle wish list now. I'm just going to count on myself to get the stuff. So I will be getting some more of the padded shorts. I do have a pair from when I used to commute, but yeah, they're a bit tight than I remember. I'm a bit bigger than I remember. So they might fit closer to the time with all the training. But yeah, padding on the seat, padding on myself, and of course, aftercare. So lovely campsites that I'll be going to. I'm sure they'll have showers where I can have an ice cold shower and try and do some sort of handstand in there if I need to. That's not a vision anybody wants. What are we talking about? Mine have climbed up into the pelvis. You guys are just throwing me off for 6 here. We're talking about Brian destroying his hot tub. Is there a lot of elevation on the route? Well, Bajush. So the elevation is down here to the left. I don't think I can bigger it for you. So hopefully you're not looking on mobile. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Oh, there we go. I can get it a bit bigger. So the elevation is down here. So it's 7,913 foot up, 8,205 foot down. The original route I planned was 10,000. Adding these stops in and tweaking the route has dropped that from 10,000 down to that 7,900, which is good. The first day is these two huge spikes here that you see on the bottom left. I'm looking at the bottom left of this screen, if you could follow my mouse. These two spikes here, they're the peaks. That is the highest point there, and you can see how steep they are. I know them hills. I know how steep they are. So the first day is going to be the worst. Ending with a really fast downhill to the campsite. Straight through the campsite, straight through a dry stone wall into bits. And then we start the next day. It's very up and down all the next day. And that's one of the longest but quite straight routes. After that, it's just generally, you can see there, one big climb, and then the last day is quite downhill and quite level. So the last day, although it's the longest, it's like 60 miles, and I'll have the fatigue from the 4 days before. The last day should be the easiest. But yeah, that's the elevation there. Thanks for the questions, Kelly. I really appreciate it. Oh my God, Leanne Mack, absolutely amazing. She sent £50 via PayPal. That's awesome, guys. Seriously. You know, I'm expecting like, give me a quid or a fiver or something. You guys are just way too much. Really, really do appreciate that. That's 200 quid today. £200 in 42 minutes. Unreal. We've still got months to go. We're going to smash that target in no time. Don't forget the Just Giving link as well. If you use the Just Giving link, tick the gift aid, get the extra money. It doesn't cost you anything, and it just means that they'll pay an extra like 25% on top. So everything we raise, we get a bit extra. That's what tipped us over the edge for the British Heart Foundation hike. Will you be using some stiff road cycling shoes and clipless pedals? Amphir, I've not looked at it. It's not been in my budget at the moment. Maybe close to the time. If I can, then I will. At the moment, I'm training purely with standard pedals and comfortable trainers. I've got some solid, flat trainers, but they are comfortable. So they're ones that a company sent me for the hike, but I didn't end up using them for the hike because they didn't have much roll in them. So they're better for cycling. So that's what I'm using at the moment. If it, things should be a lot better by then anyway for me. So I might look at getting some, but I never had them when I used to commute. I was never a fan of the clip-in shoes, and I was never a fan of, the ones that just where you get the loop over the front of the pedal and you slide it in. Never a fan of them. I like to have my feet be able to come loose when I need them to. Brian can throw a pie at you as you whiz by. Brian would not waste a pie. Are you serious? Sure, you'll smash it, Mike. I do appreciate it. You'll be just in time to arrive at the Scottish Prepper meet. Yeah, if I'm a month behind, I'll have already given up. I didn't see the first part of that. With the hike, I genuinely didn't train enough for that hike. The muscles made me suffer for that one. But when it's for a cause like this, I don't know, something just pushes you through. And yeah, like I say, if any of you guys are along that route, if you want to come and join me, even if it's for a mile or two, if you've got a bike, you want to cycle beside me for a bit, that'd be even more awesome. Just to have a bit of company for a couple of miles. That'd be great. John C. Have you made a note of cycle repair shops along the route? Mechanics will be able to weld any snapped frame, etc. Well, I mean, generally, I'm on canal paths. I'm on country roads, but most of it is tarmac as far as I'm aware. There might be a few odd rough bits. I hopefully won't have any issues like that. But it's a good point, and I will mark them down on the map, John. Appreciate that. I will be taking fully charged power banks to keep everything charged so I can always access my maps at any time. But I will have a hard copy of a map as well. Bear in mind, in the trailer is not just what I'm going to need on this cycling journey. This is a bug out exercise. What's in that trailer is what I'd be taking if I was bugging out. So stuff will be in there that I might not necessarily need for this cycle journey, but it's going to add weight and stuff like that. So I'll definitely, once that it's all decided, I will do a video of what's going in the trailer so everybody knows, and we'll weigh it as well if I can find some scales big enough. It certainly was. Thank you, Miss Worm. Yeah, thumbs up, sharing, stuff like that. That all helps as well. Really appreciate it. If your wheels come off, you can borrow 2 of Brian's Frey Bentos tins to get back home. Do you think I'm cycling back home, Tell? Do you really think I'm cycling back home after that? Get all the way there, right? Home time. There you go. You have e-bikes. So Brian will be joining me for part of the journey on his e-bike. I expect it now, Brian. I expect it. Did you always have a plan to do this alone? Would you be happy to have someone go along with you? Yeah. Do you know what? When I was, so I did the hike for a friend of mine that we lost, sadly passed away at 29, and he was part of the Sunderland channel that I'm part of. And my brother's a Sunderland fan as well. And I asked him about the hike and he said he'd do it with me. And I was all for that, but you know, he bailed. So I've always planned to do it alone because it's my challenge. So yeah, but somebody wants to come along, I would not stop them. I'd love for hundreds of us to do it at some point. Maybe I'll find a milder challenge and people can get involved. But yeah, I plan to do it alone. I'd be more than happy for company along the way. More than happy. Yes. Yes, Kelly, I will keep everyone up to date with shorts. I will potentially try and go live as well, depending on where I am, where I stop, where there's signal. Maybe if I make good time on one of the days and I get to a campsite in the evening and it has Wi-Fi, or I just have a good, strong signal, I'll do a live via the phone, by all means, and let you all know how it's going. Are you taking deep freeze to help with the muscle burn? Nope. I don't like freeze spray. I don't like heat spray. Not a fan of either of them. I do have a full medical kit, and I do have stuff in place for that. But lots of branched chain amino acids and lots of recovery drinks for the muscle burn and the DOMs. Thank you, Liam. If you hit the fan after your rides and you have to cycle straight back, just don't. Miss Worm, just don't. It has to be delayed. It has to be delayed. The good thing is Mrs. Urban Prepper and Baby Urban Prepper, is that a thing? I don't know. Will be up there. So they'll be up there. So if I get there and it hits the fan, I've got a choice to make. Do I just stay here with the family and make the most and let my preps go to donated to looters, or do I try and make it back? Well, it'll depend on the situation. Please stop trying to jinx me. Please. Yes, Teleboy. Yeah, I was just saying that to Kelly's Eye. I will be doing a live stream at some point, I'm sure. If I can, if I'm able to. I'm not going to promise and then never have a signal, you know. Make it look like that scene from Rocky where he's jogging, the town joins in. Yeah, there we go. Just all the prepper cycles coming behind me. Answered, yeah, sorry. Have you approached any media or had them approach you? No and no. The only people I've spoke to about this is Help for Heroes themselves. They've sent me a letter. It's an official letter for a fundraiser, and I've got a number, so everything's legit. So I can collect money and stuff like that. But no, I've not really spoke to anyone. I don't know if I should or go about that, but yeah, I should have done more for the hike with that one, to be fair. But yeah, I'll consider it. It'll be downhill, take an hour to get home. It's still uphill as well. There's still plenty of uphills on the way home. Cool. Right. What time are we on? 10 minutes. We'll do 10 more minutes. I thought I had another question. Nope. I did that one. Any more questions? Get them in there. One last... Did we do that one? How many videos did we play? Have we played 3 or 4? I'll do one last video. I'm not sure if we've already seen this one. Sorry if you've already seen this one.
Troops return home. Conflict's over.
When a conflict ends, for some the battles don't stop. they just stop making headlines. Many veterans and their families are struggling with painful injuries, mental trauma, isolation and more. This is the Veterans' War. It's forgotten by many, but not by Help for Heroes. Join our mission to make sure no one fights the Veterans' War alone. Search Help for Heroes today.
Great cause. Remember, they deal with physical rehabilitation, mental rehabilitation, financial support, family support, community integration, fundraising, and just advocacy of awareness about veterans and stuff like that. Absolute great charity, massive national charity. So, yeah, really good cause. They do indeed. They do indeed. 7,921 feet of them that way. Anyway, back to what. It's not going to happen. I don't know what you've got in your mind, but it's not happening. It's not happening. Even pie and Pepsi. Not even for pie and Pepsi. Yeah, Brian's just said that as well. Curious that he recently fit a bike rack to his EV. Will be driving 40 kilometers, then unpacking kit, filming an update. Lol. Well, listen, Kelly, I've invited everybody here, everybody who watches this, everybody who knows about it. I've invited you all along to join me at any point during the journey. You want to check up on me? Feel free. Bit of a flight for you, though, Kelly. Kelly's Eye says, any other charity drives on the cards? I want to try and do something yearly. It was great last year to do this. It challenges me physically. It's good for my health, and it's for great causes. So I want to try and do something every year. Me and Brian briefly mentioned something about kayaks next year, so we'll have to discuss that and see if that's going ahead. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you being here. I think that's about it. We're done for the questions. Let me just, as well as the donations through Just Giving and PayPal, like I say, on that last month, we'll be donating stuff from the shop as well. I'll just show you that, who hasn't seen it. This is the full store. These are legitimate reviews by a third-party company, not something I've just sat there and written myself. We have all sorts of T-shirts for preppers and non-preppers alike. All sorts of designs. So, yeah, good way to support the channel. And then in the last month, also a good way to support the charity. 100%, Kelly. 100%. I've always tried to do stuff. I mean, granted, it used to be a lot lazier stuff. I once did a 24-hour or 48-hour. I did a 48-hour gaming marathon where I didn't sleep for 40 hours and just game. That was much easier than doing something like this. But I've always tried to do something. I did that for alopecia, the alopecia charity, because I suffer with it myself. So that was good. I think I, at the time, raised about £600-700 for that charity. But yeah, try and do something every year from now on. There's no point having this platform and meeting all these amazing people if you can't give something back. So that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Scottish West Coast bike route goes right past my door. Well, next year I may be living in Scotland, so maybe that's an option. alopecia. No need for waxing then. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, somebody ban this person. Somebody ban this person. Do not say the N word on my stream. Newcastle. Horrible. What do I think about you winning 1-0? I would say, is that it against a team like that? Oops, dropped something on my keyboard. No, it's going to be a surprise, Kelly I. It's going to be a surprise. Right, guys, thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's been absolutely amazing. We've raised 200. Let's have a quick double check that we haven't had anything else in the meantime. I'm aware people, it's hard times, cost of living, stuff like that. Just remember, if you can't give anything today, if you can't give anything at all, that's not a problem. You can help by spreading the word. Spread the channel out there, spread the videos out there. The more people we get on this channel in that last month, the more revenue we'll get towards the charity. So if you can't do anything with money, do your bit by just spreading the word. Get somebody else to subscribe and introduce the channel to somebody else. That's all going to help massively. So, final reminder of the actual challenge, and then we'll play out the credits straight after. So, thanks everybody, and I will see you in another video really soon. Thank you. Goodbye.